But then like this one video, I was like in Chicago where I was just moving my hips. I posted that video and literally the next day it had like 6 million views. Where I got people saying like, "Oh, I'm such a fan and you're a great belly dancer." And I'm like, wait, what? I'm a belly dancer now? I'm like, I never thought of me as a belly dancer. I just thought, shaking hips is just a natural thing for me and my culture.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blitz Growth. Really excited to have Gabby B here today. She's going to be sharing a lot of value, so really excited to kind of dive in. Gabby B is a Brazilian singer-songwriter. She has an unbelievable amount of engagement and following across all different social platforms. Hundreds of thousands of views, likes, comments, shares, all that fun stuff across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Some of her YouTube videos just getting up into the hundreds of thousands of views, which we'll dive into. So yeah, really excited to learn a little bit more about how Gabby runs her social media accounts, how she creates content, how she uses content to kind of fuel the growth of her businesses, and also her singing career. So Gabby, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So yeah, really excited to dive in and learn a little bit more about, the thought process you put into your content creation and all that sort of stuff, because you do have huge amounts of engagement on Facebook stuff, Instagram stuff. And I know you've been able to monetize in a bunch of different ways, but, give us a quick background on sort of how you would introduce yourself to someone at a bar or someone at an event or a dinner that you've just attended who has no idea who you are. How would you describe what you do and, what you say, what you do for work is the best way to describe it.
So my whole life, both of my parents were entertainers, and I grew up kind of watching my mom do Brazilian dancing and my dad doing martial arts, and like both of them just working together and like in clubs and weddings, everything, since to the point where I was like really, really, really young. And I just grew up just like loving entertainment. And I kind of like just learned by watching them and watching like Britney Spears on TV and stuff. She was like the first concert I've ever watched, and I got very inspired. So then, like about 3 years ago, I started my singing career, and I started like doing certain covers and stuff, and then I started getting more serious and getting into music, and then music videos, and then I started to like start building my socials. So I started TikTok like just for fun. I really wasn't like gonna really take it so seriously to be honest, but it was such a life-changing thing for me, because when I started, I was just doing stupid things on there, and then like I just put some dancing, moving around to like trendy songs and stuff. But then like this one video, I was like in Chicago, and this one video where I was just moving my hips, because like as a Brazilian we move our hips and but like I posted that video, and literally the next day it had like 6 million views, and now it has like
Wow.
40 million. So that literally was what it sparked up, and it was crazy because I'm like, whoa, so many like people just coming at once, and like waking up with like 100K followers. I was like, this is so much for me. It's like the first time where I got people saying like, oh, I'm such a fan and you're a great belly dancer. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm a belly dancer now? I'm like, I never thought of me as a belly dancer. I just thought, shaking hips is just, it's a natural thing for me and my culture. So then like people really, really, I just kept doing videos, dancing, because I love dancing and I love moving my hips and everything like that. And then people just started titling me also to a belly dancer entertainer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like guys, like
Well, that's what I thought when I first saw your channel and content. I was like, oh, this is singer-songwriter / belly dancer.
yeah. So actually now
So I take it that content worked.
Yes, I consider myself now a belly dancer because I've studied it more. I've studied the culture, and like I really love belly dancing, and I kind of like mix it up with Brazilian culture. So it's like a whole fusion thing. But I like when I first like just started and people just kept labeling me as belly dancer. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me maybe make a song about belly dancing. So I have a song called Belly Dancer, and before I even started that, I'm like, okay, I need to know a bit more about this because I don't know much about it. I
Hmm.
grew up in France, and majority of my friends were Arab, Muslims,
Hmm.
Moroccans. Like from that region, but they lived in France. But
Mm.
like literally, like I barely knew any French 100% people because literally everyone around me was Arab. And yes, I knew about belly dancing, but I didn't know that deep into it until like
Yeah.
now, where I took one class for the first time before like I even started making the music video because I wanted to know exactly how that thing happens, like the belly dancing era. And
Okay.
then everything that the lady was teaching me, I was like, oh my god, I do this already. That's so crazy. That's why people think I'm a belly dancer. So then I started getting better at it, and I started like learning how belly dancing is a lot different from samba. Samba, you
Hmm.
still move your hips, but it's a lot more aggressive. And then belly dancing is more swervy
Flowy.
and stuff. And people
Hmm.
just loved the mix of everything. And the consistency on social media just kept me growing and growing. And
Hmm.
then I use my songs on TikTok, and make like dance to it, and people love it. Other people do it, like little kids too.
Got it.
And then that's what it is the consistency.
Mm. Okay, so did you end up kind of creating TikTok trends based off your music? Because you've got a fair few songs that you've released. How many songs have you released now? And then, yeah, have you been
Oh,
using kind of TikTok as a main way to release those?
I yes, it's a really good way to have songs and then use it on TikTok and stuff. I have about more than like 20 songs already out and probably like 15 music videos. So like I always try to use a way where I can like sneakingly use my music and then do the dance and then get other people to use it too. So
Hmm.
that always is fun to see, like little kids trying to dance like me, or or like do the belly stuff and just sing to my songs, and that's pretty cool. So I try to keep my song like how my fans like loves to see me like in
Hmm.
visually. So then like my songs are, watch me do that thing I like, or like
Hmm.
dance all night type of songs and stuff like that. I do have songs that are more meaningful, for like the more music and personal crowd. But yeah.
Hmm. Got it. Interesting. So, yeah, it is kind of impressive how you've been able to create a TikTok trend from your own music because it's obviously quite tough and you need like a good starting audience. So I take it when you're trying to promote a song, you make a dance to that song and then you release it to your TikTok followers. And then does it just start to catch on? Because I saw a lot of like user submissions on people doing the dances and, you know,
Oh yeah.
creating even their own dances for your music. But is that kind of the process and how you sort of try and launch a TikTok dance trend?
It's very tough to do that. Let me tell you, because there's so many people and so many new songs coming out there and trends and everything. And like, it's really tough for you to get your song, like, for everyone to like freaking use it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have this app called Likey, and that's where mainly my kid following is. And everything I put out, they do. You know how kids are. Everything I put out, like they use, and like I tell them, oh, I'm gonna give 5 of my favorite videos that you do to my song a shirt. And then that
Mm-hmm.
that really like gets them going, and a free shirt, free Gabby B shirt or whatever. And they get really excited. Or like I tell them, I'm gonna duet to your video if you dance to my song and everything. So that's how I kind of like get them to use it, because they want like to
Mm-hmm.
be on my account, or they want me to see it and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
always fun.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, you have quite a diverse background. So, where is most of your following? Do you find that it is in Brazil, South America, or it's in Europe, France, or even America? So, where is your main
um
following now?
so when I blew up the first time, it all literally majority of it came from India. It was like
Hmm.
such a big India following. But
Oh
now
yes,
it grew
Homer belly
to,
dancing kind of, isn't
yeah. And they even thought I was Indian too, which was funny. But I the now my following is mostly in America, so that's what my
it?
majority of my following is in America. I'm not sure what my
Got it. Okay.
second amount is, but it might be Mexico. I'm not too sure.
Okay. Interesting. And then, obviously you've done really well on all the different social platforms. It sounds like you've found a good niche in music plus belly dancing seems to be a really good combination for
Yeah.
getting that reach, getting that engagement. And then obviously likes, shares and comments are great, but they don't, pay bills. So how have you sort of taken that awareness and audience that you've got on these social channels and like turned that into revenue so that you can obviously follow your passion, follow your career in the music space? I know, you had like merch and you had a Patreon account. What are the different types of ways that you've been able to use that audience and fan base?
So obviously, like, the consistency keeps them engaged, and when like they follow you, they start becoming fans if they see that you have music and everything. So once they become fans, that's when, like, you say, "Oh, I have more content over here." And you can subscribe to it, and that's where Patreon came in. Like, I have new songs that people haven't heard, or I've got like more photo shoots and unseen TikToks, and that makes them want to click and see, like, oh my god, I want to see like what she does, or like behind the scenes, basically, of how I do my transition videos, or just anything like that. And like, when they're fans of what I do already, they want to go, and they're curious, and they want to see what I do, like, more, exclusive type of stuff. And then, like, little kids always wants merchandise, and my merchandise are like pink and green. That's like my main company color, because I love pink and green. So, like, it really attracts them to want to buy, like those shirts and everything else. And obviously, like, if I really think they're like, if I'm out and about and I have some merch with me, I just hand them out, and it makes them happy and stuff. So, like, it keeps them um like connected with you. And I have like a bunch of fans who, like, are very connected with me, because I like to be connected with them. And that's kind of how you grow. Like, you don't want to just post and be like, okay, they're just followers or whatever. You want to engage with them, and they're people who are literally helping you. And this is how you got to understand, is like, just just be connected with your fan base. And like, when you like ask them, oh, I have this, I have like an exclusive content, or I have merchandise, they're gonna want to buy it, because they're like, oh my god, she's gonna know that I bought this, and she's gonna be so thankful. So they like that.
Got it. Okay. And then what are some ways that you engage with your fan base and make them feel special? Like, how do you keep those fans, and kind of like keep them coming back for more? And how do you like really
So
connect with your fan base? Because it's tough when it's all digital.
that's true. You can't do it with everyone, but I like to go live, especially on Likey, because of the younger kids and stuff. So when I go live, and like, there's so many people just commenting, "Oh my god, I love you," and stuff like that. I try to talk to them as much as I can, like see all the messages, and then I tell them I love them too, and like, there's kids, like, literally from 4 to like 65 year olds. Like, I swear, it's like such a big range. And then, like, kids goes on my life, and they're like, oh my god, I had a hard time in school, I was bullied, I don't like my hair, I wish I was you. And then I give them advice. I love to give advice, because I've had tough situations in my life. And the more real you are with them, the more connected they're going to feel with you. They like to feel
Wow.
relatable, especially women, especially because I'm a woman, and women like to feel relatable and see that, oh, she's not perfect, she went through this, and now she's successful, so maybe I can be successful too. And they love that. They feel, it makes them feel happy. And like, a lot of them have told me that, like, my content makes them feel positive and happy, and I love that, because
Nice.
they always, like, one of my fans, she told me that she always, like, goes to TikTok and waits and like expects me to post something, hopes I post something, because in her bad days, like she always wants to like go and see and feel good. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that's really how it is. Or like you can reply to comments and stuff, that makes their day. And
Mm.
or duet to their video reacting, or just everything like that.
Got it. So that's actually a really good point. So obviously, when you start out, it's a good idea to respond to every comment, do reaction videos, reply with videos if possible. But how do you do that once you start getting more volume? Like otherwise, I'm sure you would literally be commenting and making content
Oh
all day,
yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I cannot answer everyone. That's way too much. Cuz like literally social media takes majority of my day. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
full-time job, especially with every single social media. You have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. You have like so
Yeah,
many
it's again
to
ridiculous.
post every single day. And if you don't post that one day, you're probably your chances of people like seeing you is going to slow down, and then people are going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
where have you been? Literally, they say that to me. If I don't post for one day on TikTok, they're gonna be like, I haven't seen you in so long. Where have you
Oh
been?
my
I'm like,
gosh.
man, I've been here. I've been like, my gosh.
Okay.
But really, it's like a whole thing, social media.
Got it. And then, has there been anything that you've found that works really, really well to grow these social media accounts? Like, I know you mentioned the content around belly dancing and finding that niche was a really big propulsion for TikTok.
Mhm.
But I know you were also, doing quite well on Instagram and YouTube and some of those other platforms. Is there any kind of trend that you've seen in social media that you're like, hey, when I do this, my fan base or my subscribers or followers grows a lot versus when
Mhm.
I don't do it?
So consistency, like I said, is the biggest key. Every
Mm-hmm.
account though is different, because like you could start off TikTok and you could make content of you talking about your life, and you grow like that. You just consistently talk about your updates, or you cook. Like there's cook artists that grew immensely because they just consistently post that, and their fan
Mm-hmm.
base just grabs onto that. So like once you grow your account and you consistently from the scratch you just keep posting that, you're like TikTok or any platform is gonna like throw you the niche that your content is giving out, if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that
Mm-hmm.
right, but it's literally like when you start it off and then it grows, like the followers grows, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they're all gonna push the people who like that specific content. And
Mm-hmm.
then like you gotta reach bigger and bigger and bigger, which is always tough. But consistency is definitely key for me. I also make my own rhinestone bras, me and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So like people, girls especially, they love that, and they
Mm-hmm.
want to know where they can buy it and stuff. I'm not selling it yet, but I know that could do really well. But I just don't sell it yet because I want to make sure it's good. And I'm not like, I,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't consider myself a professional, but I do it because my mom, and growing up,
Yeah.
she would do
It's
her
fun.
samba costume and stuff like that. But really, it's you post. Okay, you tweet about your life. You be you, right? You're you, and you
Mm-hmm.
think you're doing something. You're cooking, whatever. You go to Twitter, you tweet what you're doing, and like the more you tweet and the more you post, people are going to start knowing more about you, and they like to know about you when they're followers, and then they become fans, and then they kind of like always want to come back for more because they end up liking you. Some people are not going to like you, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You need both. You need the balance. But anyways, like sometimes haters become fans too, because sometimes I go to my DMs and I keep seeing that same hater just coming over and over and over again. And I'm like, you follow me. You literally follow me. Why are you hating?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Internet's full of those.
Yeah, literally. And like there's people who follow me who are like, "Oh, you're doing like all the dances are the same and blah 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 blah." But what they don't
Mm.
understand is when I try to do other styles of dance, like
Mm-hmm.
especially if I turn around or like,
Mm-hmm.
my butt kind of shows a little bit. Literally TikTok hates that for me on my account because
Mm.
for other accounts it seems to work, but for my account, nope. Literally it gets
Yeah.
shadow banned. But
Yeah.
so like it doesn't reach everyone that I would want it to reach if I do different
Okay.
content. And then the content they keep seeing is the one that always works and always gets millions of
Mm.
views. And I'm like, this is why. And plus, like, that's not my only thing that I do. I have
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, I have music coming out, and I do different things like that. But if it's working, why am I gonna change it up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good point for everybody listening as well. It's like find your niche, find what people like, and then create more content like that. And I think what you're saying also is some types of content perform better on other platforms. So it's like, your music stuff might perform better on your YouTube, whereas your belly dancing stuff, it sounds like performs better on TikTok. So also figure out what content works for what platform.
That's true.
Just also a quick question on that. So, it sounds like you use your audience to obviously get the word out, create word of mouth, generate sales on merch, generate maybe CD sales, maybe events and that sort of thing. Sounds like you might be releasing rhinestone bras as well at some point. um, and then, all of this also kind of leads back to the Patreon being an option if people want more content or that exclusive content that you're talking about. Which
Hmm.
one of those areas would you say would be the best for a new person to focus on? So if there was a new artist or content creator coming out of all the different ways that you can monetize, which one would you suggest people focus on first?
I say social media, grow your social media because once you start posting and start getting those people eyeballing you, seeing you, then you can tell them I have a Patreon or I have this, and you can go see more content if you like this type of
Mm-hmm.
content, and just let them know that put a link on your bio and just let them know that you have that specific exclusive content. And like I also see some of like connections of mine on Instagram that post like very like showing a lot, and I love that. But what if you post that on Patreon and just leave it on there and kind of like tease people to go on there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
smart. Come on. People will definitely want to see more and stuff. Like that's a good way to monetize, especially for like my model friends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. So starting out by growing the social media following, starting with Patreon, and then going into some of the other areas of
oh yeah,
monetization.
merchandise.
Got it. Okay. And then I saw on your Patreon, you're kind of using that feature where they also do merch or they do like drops or things for you. How did you sort of segment your different Patreon levels and, what are you using for that merch delivery? Because I think it sounds like your fans really love getting merch. And that's all fulfilled by Patreon, I'm pretty sure. But explain us like how you thought about breaking up your Patreon tiers and then what's included in them and what makes people want to buy the highest tier versus the lowest
Mhm.
tier.
So yeah, that took me a while to figure out like what I wanted to do really when I first started, because when you first start you really don't know much. Um, so like first I started with the $5 tier, and then there's the $15 tier. So like basically right now what I do is for the merch tier, which is the 25, you get like if you stay there for 3 months, you get
Mm,
free merch. And it
nice.
it could be it could be a mug, it could be a shirt, it could be whatever is on there. And
Mm-hmm.
on top of that you get to see what's on $5 and $15. So like anything
Mm-hmm.
below that you also get to see, so you
So it
get
stacks.
even more. Yes, you get even more content. For the $15 I post stuff that is like basically like I have this Amazon wish list, and basically I put like a bunch of like outfits that I would wear, you know,
Mm-hmm.
outfits, or even like even like jackets or boots, anything. And then I tell them, if you want to be a part of my wardrobe, you can
Mm.
go and to my wish list, and here's my PO box. And then basically I when it gets here, I do a whole photo shoot. I do unseen TikToks, just
Mm-hmm.
for it, because like I know that my TikTok, not everything works. Like if I try to dance like street jazz and like kind of move
Mm-hmm.
so much, it's gonna get shadow banned. So the stuff that I know is not gonna work there, I put it on the $15, and they can see
Oh, nice.
more
That's
content.
clever.
Yeah, so more
Mm-hmm.
like videos and photo shoots, and they get so much. And
Mm-hmm.
also to get to Zoom call with me. I do a Zoom call, five
I have
minutes
no idea how you
each.
fulfill that.
Oh yeah, that's I do it once a month, so that's for
Okay.
the 15 and above, and basically
Is it
what.
individual or is it a
Yes.
group call?
So we
Individual as
do,
well.
yeah, one on one. I get to talk to them. I get to know them better, and they really love that. They always like wait for that time of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's really fun because I get to know like different people. I even had like, it's funny because I even had like a blind person that joined my Patreon. I had no idea, and I kind of was like confused because I'm like, most of my videos I don't really talk,
Yeah,
but
it's
maybe
all
he
visual.
found like my talking video and just wanted to talk to me, which I thought that was very interesting. um and yeah, so they get Zoom calls, and I get to message all of them. They have message priority, so I see their messages, because it gets tough, like regular public social media.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tough to see all the comments. So there, I see them, and I have to respond to all of them, and we talk, and they love it. They're like, do you even respond on this? And I'm like, yeah, hey, welcome. So they love that. And
It's
the
everybody's first message.
yeah, literally. And the $5, they get like more exclusive stuff, but not as much as the $15.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
Okay.
basically that.
Interesting. And then, there's tons of singer songwriters out there and, people producing content. Why do you think people, subscribe to your Patreon? Why do you think people watch your content, follow you, subscribe to you over all the rest?
Well, there's many reasons. It depends on like what person you're referring to. Like it could be men, old
Mm-hmm.
men, or girls. Like I have a mixture of people. So like the girls, they love it because they love the confidence, and they don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
and they want that. And so like
Mm.
they really can relate to me, and then they want to be more close to me, and they want to be able to talk to me. So like be friends and stuff. But then the guys, there's guys that actually love my music and want to see more, and want to see
Mm-hmm.
more of me. But and then there's also like the guys who want to see the photo shoots and the
The creepy
sexy
guys, yeah.
dance, and they just, and I'm like, okay, or like
Yeah,
people
fair enough.
who request, and they're like, they message me, and they're like, can I can you send me a picture of your armpits? That was the weirdest one I've ever got. I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Something for
I'm not gonna
everybody.
do that. That's too weird.
That's
But
so
yeah.
funny. Okay. And then out of everything that you've done over, let's say, the past 5 years of growing your music career, growing your content or social media career, um, is there anything you would have done differently? Anything that you were like, hey, if I'd just done this, it would have been 10 times faster? Or if I'd done this, this would have worked out better? Is there anything that you can like give advice to for someone going through maybe your position, but maybe a year or two earlier? Is there any learnings or anything you would change that you think would have affected you more positively?
So, I do wish I would have like performed a lot more in the beginning. But the thing that stopped me was the pandemic. Literally,
Mm.
when I blew up on social media, the pandemic had started. Everything was closed. And if that didn't happen, things would have probably had changed, to be honest.
Oh,
Like
so
I
you're talking about live
probably.
events.
Oh yeah, live events.
Got it.
I wish I could have done more of that in the beginning, but I couldn't because of the pandemic. But if it was
Mm-hmm.
different, if the pandemic hasn't happened, I probably would have performed a lot more live and been going around way more. But I had to be stuck at home working on social medias, and that's what
Making
made
content.
me literally. And that's kind of like, because I started in music, but some people think I started on TikTok and or dancing or something, but I really didn't. It's because of the pandemic that I had to like really like I had to be like, okay, I need to keep growing. I can't just stop now. So I had to find a way to make covers on YouTube, to still dance because I love dancing, and connect with fans. So it gave me like a really option to like connect with fans in social media. But if it hasn't happened, then I'd probably be connecting with them live. You know,
Okay. Got it. But at the same time, when you think about it, like the live in-person events probably have a much smaller reach than the
it
going
does.
live on these social platforms.
It does. It's like, but like the experience, it's like different. It's much different.
Yeah.
To
Connection's not as
like,
strong.
yeah, to like be, get used to like knowing what to say and what to do. Like, I still have to like work on those things. You know what I mean? But yeah, actually social media is much a it's a big reach. But yeah, I still wish like I could have like went more out there. And now I'm like, every time I have like a live event, I'm like, okay, whew, I am nervous, but once I get on stage I'm fine. But I'm always like, oh my god, I always overthink, like
Why
in
am
my
I doing
head
this?
all the time. Yeah, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess up. I literally just had a race event the other day, EMSA Fast Lane, and I started the race with the flag. And they asked me if I wanted to do the national anthem, and I could have, but I was like, that's a big event. It's gonna be on TV.
Too much.
And I was worried about dropping the flag in the car. Oh my god, that would have been so bad. But I didn't. It was fine.
It all went smoothly.
Oh
Nice. That's
gosh.
great. So, okay. So more live events. And then I noticed like in a lot of your content, you're doing collaborations. Like there's maybe someone else in your video. Do you find that having someone else in your videos doing the collaborations, do you find that that really helps? How do you organize to do those? What's the benefit? How do you do that? Because I did notice a few of your videos, you're always doing something with someone else. And I do think
Yeah.
those ones are a bit more engaging.
So I've done really well by myself, but like a few months ago, I in my head I was like, man, I look so lonely. Just looking through my scrolling through my TikToks, I'm like, damn, I'm always home. I'm always like by myself with these freaky statues. And I'm like, I'm gonna need to I haven't collabed yet, and I'm like, I need to collab with people because I feel like I look so lonely. So that's where I started. I'm like, okay, and probably I can reach more audience with different people in my videos and stuff like that, and like kind of show my fans that I'm not a loner and I have like other people around me. So that's what made me do that. But really, like when I do videos by myself, it works a lot better sometimes. It depends like who like the videos with, but like I really don't care. Like I could do a video with someone who doesn't even have a TikTok, and I would want to do it just because like I just want to keep my image like not as a loner, but like, oh, I have a friend.
Bit
and
more fun.
also and also like they would want to, like I have friends who wants to start TikTok but doesn't have the time, and I'm like, oh, let's do a video, and I kind of help them. I tag them and I'm like, oh guys, go follow this person, and I try to tell them like, oh, if you're a comedic and you like to do comedy videos, then you should start doing that on TikTok. Now that I posted this video, people are going to want to follow you for the comedy if they like you. So it's like I help other people like that, more than they help me like on social media. But I
Yeah.
like to help people, and yeah, it's really like that.
Got it. So you actually find the content with you alone does better than the content with you with someone else?
Yes, depends. It
Wow.
depends. Like when I do content with Michaela, for example, she's a professional dancer and also an artist right now, and I have a
Hmm.
song coming out with her called Earthquake, so that's exciting. But when I do content with her on TikTok and stuff, it does really well because her audience actually knows me, and then my audience knows her, and then when we collab together, people are like, "Oh my god, you know each other." Oh my god, like they have the biggest reaction ever, and that's like the only time where I've seen people really like react like that with like another
Hmm.
person. And it just we work so well together that we made a music video. So song in the music video will be out soon. I'm excited. But yeah, like usually when I'm by myself, I do really good because that's how I
Hmm.
started. That's how, people
So your
like to
fans are
see
used
me.
to.
Yeah,
Mm.
like when I have guys with me in the video, I love the videos because it looks really nice. But guys in the comment section are like, "Is that your boyfriend? Take him out now!" Or like just attacking, attacking the poor guy. I'm like,
Yeah,
"No,
don't
this is
stir the
my
pot.
friend. Goodness sake!" Yeah.
Okay, and then also looping back to the music videos and releasing new songs. Is there any sort of marketing and promotion strategy you have that you do when you are releasing new songs, or is it simply just organically
Um,
happening?
yes, you always have to actually plan your release. Everyone has to plan their release because it's such a big deal. You invest so much in a music video and a song, and I use symphonic.
Hmm.
That's how my songs get out everywhere and stuff. And I also use Vivo, that's connected to symphonic, because I think it also does better when when your music video has the Vivo thing, and it just they publish it and everything. But oh, I blanked out. I blanked out. What was the question?
So essentially, do you put together a marketing plan,
Oh yeah,
or what do you do when you're releasing a new song or music
right.
video?
Right. So I like to post on social media like teasers.
Hmm.
Sometimes I make like small teasers, and I make like a video talking about it, or just, oh, it's coming. And it kind of builds people up to be like, oh my God, new song is coming or new
Hmm.
videos coming. And I do that on all social media. And also like, ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, those help. But and like the rest of it is all organic, of course. Like when you have the following base and you promote it, that's also like going into that. So when
Hmm.
the song comes out and people are kind of knowing about it on all social media, and then like the song is about to come out, I kind of put like, oh, it's about to release like in 5 hours, or 5 hours, 4 hours, like
It's like
countdown.
countdown.
And then
Hmm.
a chunk of people just goes into that, because obviously when you do ads, it's not as fast as like original, like coming from your profile and everything. But yeah,
Hmm.
so that's what I do.
Interesting. That's great. And I suppose like everybody listening, it doesn't have to just apply to songs. Anytime you have release of something big, whether it's a product, whether it's
Mhm.
audio, video, whatever it may be, I think planning out those things really help.
It
But
does.
anyway, Gabby, I think you've shared so much knowledge, so many insights into social media content, how to grow a fan base, how to engage and keep that fan base. Um, just to wrap it up, where can people find out more about you, what you're doing, best places to get in contact? Where should we send people who are interested in learning more?
Well, I have a website, gabbyb.com, gabbybmusic.com. And I have, social media, Instagram, gabbyb_music. You can, I see majority of the comments on Instagram. But if you want to message me, you can DM me on Instagram. And I have Spotify for music and all the music platforms. TikTok, Gabby B_music. Twitter, Gabby Bueno music. But
Hmm.
usually, like if you want to know about me, the website,
Yeah.
gabbybmusic.com.
Okay, nice. And what's your take on Spotify? Because we interview a fair few, artists and people in the music industry, and it's always 50-50. Some people love Spotify and some people absolutely hate it. What's your take?
It's tough. It's a tough platform, I swear. Oh my gosh. Look, okay, so I have a team that works with me, like they're like my family and stuff. So they're usually the ones that deals with all the business type of stuff, and the putting your song in the platform and stuff like that. But Spotify, I'm telling you, it's like definitely people who are successful on Spotify, props to them, because it's very tough to keep your numbers up on there for sure.
Got it.
But that's all I've got
Yeah,
to
I heard the
say about
payouts aren't that
that.
great either.
Yeah, I have Apple Music, so
Oh, okay. Well, I really appreciate all of the amazing wisdom that you've shared today. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
thank
For
you.
everybody listening, don't forget to check out Gabby and take a look at all of her content. You get some great ideas. Also, super fun to follow. So make sure you check that out. If you like this episode, let us know. Subscribe, leave us a comment. Let us know if you like this type of stuff. What other questions you want us to ask. But really appreciate everybody listening. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we put a bunch of effort into making great content for this YouTube channel. So please hit subscribe, leave us a comment, hit like, and tell a few friends about it.